Hi, how's everybody doing today? This is Anthony from the Basement Reef. As always, if this is your first time tuning into our channel, we're a retail aquatic pet store and houseplant shop located in Columbia, Missouri. And here on our channel, we talk about all things related to both saltwater and freshwater aquaria, as well as the indoor care of tropical plants. Today, I'm excited because we have a shipment of clownfish from Sustainable Aquatics. They're one of the more prominent clownfish breeders in the whole United States. And once per quarter, we order several dozen clownfish in several different morphs from them. You guys have watched me unbox enough stuff on this channel, so we're going to skip that whole process and really just focus on the clowns that are in this box and really try and get some good footage of them. So off camera, I'm going to get these guys unpacked and then really try and get some good video footage of these guys, and we'll go from there. Now that all of the clownfish are unpacked and settled in, we can take a look at everything that we got. This first group of clownfish are Sustainable Aquatics Fancy Ocellaris. That's their take on a regular orange Ocellaris, but with a couple of tweaks. It gets thicker black margins and a black outline around all of its fins, and rather than a bright orange, gets almost a dark red sort of body color. I really like these guys, and my oldest clownfish is actually one of them. I've had her for about 8 years, and she'll feature heavily in an upcoming video where we upgrade the tank that she's in. So look forward to that. After that, we have what is by far the most requested clownfish in our store, and that's just regular black and white or Darwin clownfish. In fact, the reason we didn't get this order several weeks before now is because we've been waiting for these to be in stock. These guys occur naturally off the northern coast of Australia near Darwin, hence the name Darwin. As they mature, they really darken up and they become completely black by the time they're adults, sometimes with the occasional red face. Here, you can see them demonstrating a behavior common amongst young clownfish called ball schooling, where they'll school up really tight together. You can have thousands of clownfish, and if they're really young, they'll school up into massive formations like this. Next up, we have Sustainable Aquatics Fancy White Clownfish. This is their take on a gladiator or Da Vinci style clown, but based off of the fancy morph that we saw earlier. So again, with the darker coloration and the really nice black margins around the fins. Now the gladiator or Da Vinci, it really just means that all of the stripes bleed back into each other, creating almost a helmet sort of look. That's where you get gladiator. These guys are really nice, this pair in particular. They're actually very curious compared to all of these other clownfish and are racing around the tank, which leads me to suspect that they might be just a little bit older than the rest. Here we have some fancy snowflake clownfish, once again based off of the original fancy morph. That's one nice thing about ordering from a place like Sustainable Aquatics. They've had these genetics locked in for years, and you can get some really cool clowns from them that are exclusive and not like ones you can get from any other breeder. As far as the snowflake, that's really just this jigsaw style pattern instead of a straight stripe. And they call it snowflake because every individual is unique. These clowns are black phantom or black snowflake clowns. It's the same basic genetics as a snowflake clown, but the lineage comes from the Darwin or black and white clowns. And much like them, they'll continue to darken up as they age. And by the time they're adults, the only thing that might have any orange color left will probably be their faces. This next morph is completely new to me, and that's a black Wyoming white clownfish. Wyoming white was one of the very first nearly all-white Ocellaris morphs and became really popular across the hobby. And this is a black version of that. You can see that the fins and tails are completely black, and hopefully they'll keep these orange faces. It would make a really stunning fish. If I didn't already have all my tanks full of pairs, I would probably consider these guys for myself, honestly. Up until now, all of the clownfish in this order have been Ocellaris, but these next two morphs are going to be hybrids, and they have a lot in common with each other. This first one is nearly naked mochaccino clowns. They're Perculus crossed with Ocellaris. As they age, they're going to darken up into sort of a dark caramel sort of color that's really unique to this morph. And you can see that they've been bred to have almost no stripes. That's why they call them nearly naked. And that brings us to these lightning mochaccino clownfish. They're very similar, except they've been bred to have a distinct shape to the middle stripe that's always fatter on top and skinnier on bottom, like a lightning bolt. Beyond that, there is a lot of variability in how these guys look, and I love it. In fact, my one and only aquarium at home has a pair of these guys, and they're my favorite pair of clowns that I own. So if you're shopping for some clowns, give these guys a very strong consideration. They have my recommendation. That takes us to the end of all of the clownfish on this order, but there is one more pair in the store that I want to talk about, and that's these Mocha Storm clownfish. Sustainable Aquatics offers this morph, but I got these from a customer, and they are very mature and one of the nicer pairs that I've ever seen. Mocha Storm is a pretty new morph, and you get there from taking a black storm clownfish and crossing it with a bright orange ocellaris. The end result is stunning, and this pair particularly is about as good as it gets for this morph. This is a very, very high-end clownfish, and we're stoked to have it in our store. It's definitely the nicest clownfish that we've ever had, and honestly, they're some of the nicest fish that we've ever had. And that'll just about do it for this video. Thank you for watching, and we want to give a huge thanks to Sustainable Aquatics for doing such an awesome job with these clownfish. If you're in our area, come check it out. I think you'll really like these fish. Otherwise, hopefully you learned a few things about clownfish morphs. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.